for them exercising the freedom of speech. While I don't condone the protest during our national anthem, this is America. If our country stands for anything, folks, what? It's freedom. People died for that freedom. I'm not sure if our president understands those rights.
Did you hear this idiot? Our people have died for that freedom. I don't know what people Terry's talking about. And I don't know what freedom of speech he has, but in the workplace, show me anybody who has freedom of speech. This is at the same time in history where liberal women are having men arrested and financially wiped out for behavior 30, 40 years ago. You do not have freedom of speech. It's another myth. Freedom of speech is right up there with unicorns and Camelot, Santa Claus, and the Easter Bunny. You do not go to work and speak your mind. Nobody ever has. You speak your mind 100% of the time, you're going to be in trouble 1,000% of the time. But in the workplace, you have to adhere to the rules of your employer. And in the NFL, there are rules, just like at your job. And let me tell you something. Those NFL stadiums were paid for by us, Mr. Bradshaw, not you, and not your self-righteous, spoiled brat athletes. Let me say something about black athletes. Most of them never had a job ever. They grew up in a home without a father whose mother collected welfare. That's most of them. This isn't my racial prejudice. This is facts. Look it up. So at the grace of the taxpayer, these children get raised from food stamps to welfare to free medical. And they become good athletes. And then the world starts to really cater to them. And they get a scholarship. And many of them are totally functionally illiterate. But they get a degree. Like those players at North Carolina. When Bernie Goldberg asked one of them, "You never went to class?" "No, sir, I never went to class." "What do you do now?" "Well, I work at Walmart. Stock of shelves." That's what he said. I'm looking at your transcript and I see you took a second language. And the man said, "Yeah, I did." "You took Swahili?" "Well, not really." "Why'd you say you took Swahili as a second language?" "They told me to say that." That was his basketball coach. Probably don't get a lot of people ask you any questions in Swahili, huh? And he said, "No, sir." The scam of all of this. So they go through college. They never have to go to class. They get a bogus degree. And then they don't make it in the NBA or the NFL. They end up at Walmart or back on welfare. Look at the percentage of black athletes in America that never had a real job. And when they become wealthy, like the $125 million Colin Kaepernick, they're pissed off. They're going to disrespect the flag. You know what's really tragic about that? In America, many of the veterans who fight and die for this country are minorities. Those are heroes. These athletes and these entitled, stupid people, this man is not a bad guy, Terry Bradshaw. He's just dumb. This is what Howard Cosell warned about. He warned us to say, be careful about the jockocracy when broadcasters all end up jocks. Now watch Howard's point get made.
Every American has the right to speak out and also to protest. Believe me, these athletes do love this great country.
By the way, they could protest any day of the week, anytime they want. No one's going to bother them for doing that. Not the president. It's during the national anthem, a very specific time we're supposed to have reverence, especially for our veterans.
Personally, I think our president should concentrate on serious issues like North Korea and healthcare rather than ripping into athletes and the NFL.
So he just admitted it's not serious. Worry about serious things because you say ethics and civics and citizen responsibility to honor the flag and the culture. That's not serious to this guy. Worrying about Korea, Rocket Man, that's serious. Worrying about healthcare. Remember this? You get to keep your doctor. You'll have the plan you want, and you're gonna save money because God's anointed Negro Obama says so.
Kneeling or sitting for the anthem is not something I would choose to do, but I fully support the right to do it. That being said, what keeps getting lost in the criticisms of the form of the protest is the message of inequality. Put it in perspective, as a white father having raised 3 boys, there were a million things to worry about on a daily basis. But it's impossible for me to truly understand the challenges that an African-American father faced.
You hearing that? The white man's burden? Are you hearing Bwana Howie Long talk this crap? Whose son went to Virginia, who played for the championship game for the Philadelphia Eagles and was on the championship New England Patriots before that. And look at him. Look at him with his $1,000 suit. He's going to tell you about the burden of the Negro. Oh, man, River, he don't know nothing. He just keep rolling. Yeah, tote that bale, right? Listen to this sophomoric, moronic jock.
Comprised of 70% African-American players. If you're a white player in an NFL locker room, that puts you in a unique position to try to better understand those struggles.
Did you hear that? He just admitted that 70% of the NFL is black in a nation where black people are 13.4% of our population. That means there's an overrepresentation of this minority by about 90%. How about that, Howie? Is that racial America? What are the percentages of white guys in the stands rooting for said Negroes? That would be about 94% white folks that pay all that money. So we have to suffer the indignity of idiots like you. You're an idiot. You're weak. You're pitiful. Because I can see on your contorted countenance, you don't believe what you're saying. But you have to suck up to the black people. And they don't need white guys to suck up to them. In my life, black men tend to be more honest than white guys. And I know that from my limited experience in locker rooms. And I never held back, not with them or anyone. Because blacks, like whites, know the truth when they hear it and they smell it. And they all must laugh at the end of the day, watching these guys do mental gymnastics over stuff like this. White man's burden.
Subsequently, as we've seen, show your support for your teammates in your own way. Understanding starts with a dialogue, and the most important part of dialogue is to listen.
And I agree 100% with you, Howie. As you said, 70% of the players are African-American players, but all of them, if not all of them, are kneeling are African-American players, and a lot of them have taken exception to being called SOBs. They felt like they've been told to stay in their place, and I think that's very frustrating to these guys. Not everyone kneels. But for the guys who don't kneel, they do have an understanding of what the other guys are kneeling for.
And what happened to the players who wouldn't kneel? And what happened to the linemen on the Pittsburgh Steelers who was an Iraq war veteran who said he won't do it, they broke him down. And he came out and tearfully apologized that he disrespected his teammates. Freedom of speech? Listen, look at the log in your own eye before the stem in your neighbor's. This is what happened when a nation loses its way. Okay? Go talk to Jim Brown, the greatest football player I ever saw. And a great man, raised by white people, like Colin Kaepernick. But Jim Brown never forgot it. And Jim Brown knew that there were a lot of jackasses in the world that didn't like him because of the color of his skin. But more people than not, like me, liked him because of the man he was. And when it's all said and done, I don't give a crap about someone's color or their race or creed. But when you act like the caricature of every racist cartoon, I'm going to call you those words. I'm going to call you the N-word if that's what you are. And all those other pejoratives, wop, kike, mick, potato head, all those words that we've all said, including nigger, apply. Listen to Chris Rock. There's good and there's bad. And when you're bad, I'll reach into my gunny sack and I'll come up with every pejorative and adjective I could come up with to say what you are. Because I'll tell you what's obscene to me. Dishonesty, disingenuity, hypocrisy. I've had it. I won't watch another NFL game. No skin off my nose. But yesterday we had to listen to Michael Kay go into his crap and try to affect and infect baseball now. Enough.